Hello and welcome back to the Estate and Consultancy Podcast. My name is Chris Webb. I'm here to help you have a better estate agency experience. So today we're talking about something that is probably the biggest mindset change that I've had over the last couple of years or so, and something that I really push is probably a strong word, encourage with the clients that I work with on a daily basis. So this is all about being a producer of social media content rather than a consumer of social media content. And the amazing fact is here that the bar is far lower than you would ever expect it to be. So there's something out there called the 90-9-1 rule. That's 90 space 9, not 99. Rule. And effectively, this shows the amount of people that post on social media on a regular basis and how people actually consume content on a regular basis as well. So the 90, as you might imagine, is the number of people that consume social media content. So they scroll, they watch, they read, they don't interact in any way, shape, or form. So we're not talking likes, we're not talking comments, anything like that in any way. And as a bit of a context here, the average person, this is average person, scrolls the length of 3 Eiffel Towers every single day with their thumb. I mean, the thumb is going to be like the fittest part of the body in no time. So that's 90% of people just consume content. 9%, so under 10% of people engage with content, as in like, share, comment, love the video, love this, all that sort of stuff. So 9% of people actually engage with content. 1%, if your maths is correct, are the creators of content. These are people who are actively creating original content. This could just be a selfie on holiday. It could be a video. It could be some sort of blog online, a LinkedIn newsletter, a podcast, whatever it may be. 1% of people are producing content on a regular basis. So by default, if you just produce regular content in your estate agency business, congratulations, you're in the top 1% of the entire world when it comes to producing content. So let's look at some industry specific. So let's look at LinkedIn, for example. Everyone loves LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has 900 million users, but they're livid. They're not at that billion number yet. And about 3 million posts every week. So that's 1% of active users are posting once a week on LinkedIn. So the huge majority of people are just like the silent scrollers on social media. TikTok, only 18% of people have ever posted a video on TikTok. So the remainder, the other 82% of people have just been online and literally just watched video on TikTok. They've never actually posted anything on there. And the vast majority of people are exactly the same way when it comes to Instagram as well. They just scroll, they don't post on there at all. So we want to move away from being in the 90% and move to the 1%. So this isn't just social media though. This is across all formats. This is about having ownership within your business. So not only should, yes, you be posting on social media regularly and video content and, personal brand and all this sort of stuff. Yes, that is very good for your business, but also you should be looking for ownership as well. So things like, LinkedIn newsletters, for example, or mass mailing lists. I always think these are things that can kind of bail you out should you ever need them. So let's say, for example, let's say I close down my business tomorrow. Let's thought that actually this consultancy malarkey, it's not for me. I'm bored of staring at myself on Zoom recording a podcast. It's not for me. Let's close down. Let's go and get a job. Let's go back to the real world and get a job and pension contributions and company cars or whatever else it might be. Now, because I've grown a personal brand, I've got things like LinkedIn newsletters, I've got email newsletters, I've got podcasts, etc. I'd be willing to bet that if I put online saying, "Hi guys, close down the consultancy, I'm now looking for a proper job," in inverted commas, I'm willing to bet I would get some messages pretty darn quickly to say, "Hi Chris, let's have a chat." I'd hope so anyway. Other than that, I've done a terrible job over the last couple of years or so. So I'd hope I'd get some sort of commitment back from people to say, "Oh, I've just seen you've actually come on the jobs market. We would love someone like you to be on our team." It gives you those opportunities. Now, let's imagine, for example, we had a poor cash flow part of our business, and we're like, actually, we know that next month's going to be a really bad month of cash flow. We really need to ramp some things up. Now, if you've got ownership of things like an email list, for example, or a podcast or a newsletter, whatever, you can pump that out and go, actually, guys, let's really nail down this newsletter. Let's get, instead of getting one newsletter out, let's get 3 newsletters out. Instead of doing one email, let's do 5 emails going out. Instead of doing one social media post, let's do 1 a day sort of thing. We can really ramp up because we know that we need to generate some more income for next month. Otherwise, we're in trouble. So it gives you these options in your business. Then let's say, for example, you didn't own that podcast or you didn't own that email list, or you didn't own that LinkedIn newsletter, what am I going to do? Go to people with a podcast and say, excuse me, do you mind having me on your podcast next month? I'm going to run out of money. Excuse me, can I borrow your email list? Because I'm actually going to leave my job next month and I want to email everyone saying, can they give me a job? They're going to tell me to bugger off. But if it's my email list that I own, you can then do whatever you like with it. So it gives you these huge opportunities and control within your business. So you should be looking to own your social media profile, own things like your YouTube channel, own things like your podcast and emails and newsletters and LinkedIn. I mean, the list goes on and on. But the more these things you have underneath your umbrella, the more things you control, the more power you have in the future to go forward to these people. So if you wanted to sell something or buy something, you've got all these options in front of you. It's one of the reasons that we have a Facebook group. It gives us a kind of group of people who are fans of the business. Say, hi guys, we're thinking about doing this. This sound of interest? We're no longer kind of pitching out to Never Land. We've got people that are interested in what we do, like what we do. Hi guys, what do you think about this? It's a really warm audience for the business. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it's not easy to do, and I know I've just reeled off a huge list of email newsletters and LinkedIn newsletters and bulk emails and podcasts and whatever else it may be. And you think to yourself, God, that sounds like it's going to take a lot of time. And yes, it does. It does take a lot of time. But if you think smart on it and get it organized as much as possible, it doesn't take as much time as you're willing to think. And you can put yourself quite literally in that 1%, put your head well and truly above the parapet by doing that. If you look around, so the thing that I've been surprised with in business and always continues to surprise me is how long it takes to get known by the local public that you are an estate agent. So to say I'm an estate agent and I sell properties, it takes quite a few touch points. Again, we've talked about this on the podcast before, but it takes more than you might expect for someone to go, aren't you that estate agent person? But the thing that I'm always really impressed about is actually how low the bar is for posting regularly on things like social media, for example, and bulk emails and stuff like that. For people like, actually, I really recognize you. So to know, kind of understand what you do for a job and you're that person who does X, Y, Z, that takes a little bit of time. But if just for them to walk past you in the high street and go, I think I know you from somewhere, actually doesn't take that much because everybody else is in the 90%. They're in that scrolling page. They're literally just scrolling, looking at pictures of you and videos of you and content you produce and emails you produce. Great. They will become raving fans of your business very, very quickly. So that is why you want to put yourself in that 1%. What you don't want to do, this is not a blanket ticket to spend all your time on social media. So I would say per day, I probably spend 15 minutes on social media. And that in that 15 minutes, I'm posting, commenting, all that, liking, all that sort of stuff for the day. After that, out of sight, out of mind. Thank you very much. I've got a proper job to get on with. Thank you. So it isn't a blank check to spend all day scrolling on social media and engaging on social media because Chris said that's okay. Instead, you want to structure things up to go, actually, this is my 15, 20 minutes, half an hour on social media. I'm posting, I'm sending, I'm linking, I'm liking, I'm done. Job done for the day. Thank you very much. Away you go. You can then focus on actually listing, selling properties, and all the good stuff you want to do in your business from there. So it is not a blank check to spend all your life on social media. Instead, you want to do it, schedule it, get it done, move forward with your life. But it's really important that you become a producer of social media and less of a consumer of social media, especially during work hours. Outside of work hours, binge on TikTok. We've all been there. We've all done a doom scroll now and again, then regretted it 2 hours later. Do what you like. But in work hours, try what you possible. Be that creator. Honestly, you will not look back once you do it. Hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. I will catch you on the next episode.